Every single man wants to experience the benefits of high testosterone, charisma, confidence, drive and motivation, a body that demands respect. But most men will never experience this. This is because most guys, they don't even know where they are numerically with their testosterone. The reason why it's important to know where you are numerically and have an actual number is because when you make a plan to increase your testosterone, you want that number that you just started out with to increase over time. Men are doing random things that lead to random results they think is improving their testosterone, but if they don't know their number, it can actually decrease. And if you know if it decreases, then you know you're doing something wrong. Now, what problem is that men can face is that they might not have the opportunity to actually go and get tested. Maybe you're a younger guy, for example, maybe that you can't go out and pay and get a blood test done for your testosterone levels. In this video, I'm going to explain how you can get a general range for your current testosterone levels for free right from your very own home. Let's get into the video. So how do you actually check for a general range of your testosterone levels? What you want to do is you want to measure your heart rate and temperature. So to measure your heart rate, I have here, I just use my Apple Watch. So if you have an Apple Watch, you can use this. There's a heart rate app on it. If you don't have one, you can use the those devices that have like the clipping that you can put on your finger. And then you're also going to want to use this. You're going to want to use a thermometer to check your temperature. So you might be asking yourself, what does that have to do with testosterone levels? In order to have optimal testosterone, you need to have an optimal metabolic rate. And your metabolic rate is measured by your heart rate and temperature. Let me ask you this. When do you think testosterone is the highest throughout a human's age in life? But specifically, what age and what area of life do you think people experience the most benefits out of testosterone? Being creative, being able to actually look people in the eye and talk to them. And so when you were young, the heart rate of a baby is actually 110 to 160, so that means it's high. When you were a kid, your heart rate was around that. That's why you were so creative. You were just running around having a good time, not worrying about anything. So when you were younger, your heart rate was higher. Hence why the lower the heart rate is, the lower your testosterone level is. So your metabolic rate is measured by your heart rate and temperature. Now, the next thing you might be asking yourself is, okay, how does your metabolic rate or measuring your heart rate and temperature deal with the production of testosterone? I'm going to break down the science for you so you can understand. Your metabolic rate is measured by your thyroid hormone. So I just told you that to have high testosterone, you need to have high metabolic rate, and you can find out your metabolic rate by measuring your heart rate and your temperature. So your metabolic rate is governed by something called the thyroid hormone. The thyroid hormone is a must for testosterone. It's a must. This is also known as T3. It's the same thing. I've included an image here on the production of testosterone. This is just a simple graph. There's more. But in order to make testosterone, you need LDL cholesterol, vitamin A, and T3, which is your thyroid hormone. These three together, combined with other factors as well, turns into pregnenolone. And pregnenolone is a precursor for testosterone. So think about it like this. Not only do you need LDL cholesterol and vitamin A, but you also need T3. If these three together make pregnenolone, and if pregnenolone makes testosterone, the more of these means the more can be turned into pregnenolone, which means more testosterone. If you have a low thyroid hormone, if you have low T3, then I don't need to know the exact numbers for your testosterone, because I know that if you don't have this, if you're not producing this, then you can't have high testosterone. You can get LDL cholesterol and vitamin A from eggs, but if you have low thyroid hormone, it won't turn into pregnenolone, and pregnenolone won't turn into testosterone. This is why you need to take care of your metabolic health, and you need to increase your thyroid hormone in order to increase the production of testosterone. What are the optimal numbers for your heart rate and your temperature? You're going to want to track your heart rate and temperature every day. I would recommend doing both, but if you just have access to the thermometer or the Apple Watch, you can just do one. But preferably, I recommend doing both. You're going to want to take your heart rate and temperature after waking up, before and after meals, and then before bedtime. The goal is making sure it doesn't decrease because, like I just said, to have higher testosterone levels, you need to have a high metabolic rate, because when you were a kid, you have the highest metabolic rate. As you get older, it decreases, And we know that when you increase with age, your testosterone goes down. So your metabolic rate and your heart rate and your temperature need to be optimal and high. Make sure it doesn't decrease. If you find your heart rate decreasing and your temperature decreasing, you're doing something wrong because it's not supposed to decrease. The optimal heart rate is around 80 to 86, and the optimal temperature is around 98.5. When you measure throughout the day, you want to make sure that your temperature and heart rate stay around these numbers right here. If your heart rate is below 80, or if your temperature is below around 97, you probably have low testosterone and you're going to want to do something different. If you find yourself below 80 heart rate and below 97 as a temperature, you're going to want to increase them. So the question is now, how do I increase? If you're below these numbers, you are in a low metabolic state. And now I'm going to give you some tips on how to get in a higher metabolic state. You're going to want to eat in a caloric maintenance or a surplus. You don't want to eat in a caloric deficit. When you eat in a caloric deficit over a long period of time, you're essentially training your body to be under a matter of stress. Your body is saying to itself, we're not getting nutrients like we used to get before. Maybe something's happening. There's a problem going on. I don't want the body to die. So I'm going to use all the energy and take all the blood and energy into the necessary organs, like your heart, your liver, your brain, your kidneys. So if your body is only keeping itself alive, if that's the only thing that matters, your body doesn't care about being creative, being charismatic. It only cares about being alive. You're training your body to be that way. Get electrolytes. This is pretty self-explanatory. You don't want to be in a nutrient deficiency. Sleep well. This is obvious as well. It's proven that men that sleep 8 hours have 200% more testosterone levels than men who sleep 4 hours. Low cortisol is key for higher testosterone. Do not overtrain. It's better to undertrain than overtrain, because when you overtrain, along with external factors as well, cortisol goes up and then testosterone goes down. And avoid running. So when you run, you are also putting your body under stress for a prolonged period of time. The body is so focused on having that energy for that run and for their sport that it doesn't use that energy to be confident, grow muscle. It just focuses on that. I recommend walking instead because your body's more relaxed. So that lowers cortisol. The low cortisol will lead to high testosterone. So that is the way to measure and get a general range of your testosterone right from home. Hopefully you guys learned something out of that video. Let me know what videos you guys want. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.